We live in a brave new world, increasingly ever connected by tech.
You got smart things, navigation.
And if you can't keep up, it can pass right by you, especially in places purposefully, well, disconnected.
I want to bring hope to people.
But we found something surprising.
Proud of all of you guys, like, for real.
We're here in Chino. This is the California Women's Institute. It's a prison, of course. We're here talking about a program that helps people learn skills inside. And these skills, I think, are a little bit different than we're used to seeing in prison, particularly stuff like web design and coding. And we're going to talk to some students. Let's go see.
Inside your standard medium security facility, dorm-style dwellings dotting more than 200 acres of incarcerated drudgery.
How many incarcerated people here?
Currently inside CIW, we have approximately 1,142.
Deeper in, California's Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation says it's focused on education.
Of course, library. Nice. You can peek inside, you'll see these kind of standard classrooms.
And what are they learning? Just any and everything?
So here we have everything from standard GED, high school diploma, up into the master's degree program, not to mention the last mile in the coding program.
This is all my coding. This is how it looks like. This is the back end.
Crystal has been incarcerated for 14 years and just coded this functional restaurant website.
You know what all this means?
Yes.
Okay.
This is like a function, and this is where you pass in your props.
If I log in, I can just go into the login instead of the sign up.
The class here is one of more than 20 in 7 states across the country operated by The Last Mile, an in-prison tailored curriculum focused on teaching incarcerated people viable, technical, sought-after career skills.
If it wasn't for prison, I would have been dead.
And helping to create a sustainable lifestyle when they get out. Last Mile Chief of Staff Molly Kelly suffered from an addiction for more than 20 years and believed her life was over before finding the program in prison.
I would rather be living next to somebody who's rehabilitated. They're going to be your neighbor. They're going to be your kids as friends, as parents.
One of the people Molly helped popped up on screen during class.
Hello, Billy. How are you?
Billy Edison was incarcerated in an Indiana prison for 7 years. She says the skills she learned from The Last Mile, both during and after being locked up, helped her land her dream job, IT for an NBA team.
You have a felony and you work for the frickin' Indiana Pacers.
I know.
How did that happen?
I just have this huge family that supports me, and it feels amazing.
Across the country, more than 60% of people who leave prison wind up back in prison. But for graduates of The Last Mile, that number drops to less than 5%.
Our goal is to really affect the lives of justice-impacted individuals and get them sustainable jobs when they get home in industries that pay those kinds of wages.
Last Mile Executive Director Kevin McCracken should know. He used to be locked up in San Quentin. Now he's looking to expand the program to more prisons.
We were the first program in 2014 to actually have a coding classroom inside a facility in the United States.
Why coding, like, specifically?
The idea was that we were going to create this opportunity for individuals that are incarcerated to have better paying jobs when they get home in an industry that's pretty wide open. And, you know, to be honest, when you're here, you have time, right?
A lot of time, and Steve Patterson joins us now in the studio to tell us a lot more about this fascinating program. Steve, I hate to even ask this. I know everyone deserves a second chance, right? And this is an amazing program. Yes. And yet, is there any worry that these types of skills may lead to, like, cyber problems down the road if somebody reoffends?
I'm so glad you asked. First of all, full stop, it's a closed circuit inside, right? It is not the same internet that you and I use. They don't even have the internet. It's a closed loop system that The Last Mile brings in so the ladies can effectively perform their duties that they're learning. Second of all, these people, I'm telling you, Gotti, these are the women I met are the best of the best of the best, right? They signed up for this. They had to be recommended to get into the program. They had to have good grades in their other programs that they're in. And so they want to be there. They want to get back to their families. They want to do the right thing, at least from the women I met. Does that mean, like, they could be hackers one day based on the skills they use? I mean, sure, maybe, but, like, they don't teach that on the inside. It's not about hacking. It's about coding. It's like Java. It's HTML, CSS, very basic stuff.
Yeah, I mean, making websites for like restaurants.
Exactly.
Right? That's fascinating. Now, How did you even find this story?
First of all, it was a woman named Deb. Shout out Deb. Really happy she brought me the story. We were working on a different story. Saw some of my work, and then she contacted me. But also, I read this thing about tuition in the state of California at USC, because we are in California, right? USC is very expensive. They estimated something like $60,000 for 1 year for one kid. More like $90,000 if you add on like room and board and all that stuff. It's $130,000 to incarcerate one person for 1 year. And that person is likely, based on the statistics, going to reoffend. So taking away all that from society when you can have a program to recycle back into society, it's not all about money, of course, but imagine like what this thing is doing for people who want to have a positive influence on all of us, on all of our lives, especially because a lot of these people, they're going to get out. Don't we want them to have a net positive on all of us?
We do.
Yes.
We do. And it is such a productive use of time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.